Hello everyone, this is Abena. I'd like to thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel, Embrace Natural Beauty, where it is my goal to share with you very simple tips and techniques that I have used on my very own hair throughout my natural hair journey, and so that you too may better maintain your hair, that it may be in good condition, and that you may enjoy and embrace your own natural beauty. So you're looking at me today, and yes, let's look at it, y'all. My hair is straight. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about straightening natural hair and also about trimming. And because you all know I'm a little long-winded, it's because I don't talk to you that often. When I do that, I have so much I want to talk with you about. So what I'm going to do is split this video up into two parts, and so we're going to have part one and part two. In this video right now, what I'm going to talk about is trimming. Now, trimming is only about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, depending on the condition of your hair, on the condition of your ends. And it's really important because if your ends are going to get raggedy. They're just going to get worn out. That's what happens. My hair is just over 3 years old, so it's been with me, these ends have been with me for a full 3 years. I'm receiving a lot of wear and tear. What happens with the hair as it gets older, it gets raggedy, it splits, and split ends will actually the split will travel all the way up to the root of your hair and split off and cause now you have two strands of hair caught up in your curly hair, causing these phantom knots or single strand knots, and eventually causing more tangling, so our hair would get broken in more areas. So then how often should you trim? Well, I personally like to trim my hair every 4 months. I trim my hair 3 times a year, just 3 times a year, and I'm pretty systematic about it. I trim my hair literally the same months on the calendar year. So in March, July, and November, I know I'm getting my ends trimmed. There are some people who may trim their ends only twice a year, every 6 months. And then there are those who will do dusting, literally going through and cutting the ends that they determine need to be cut because they're raggedy. That's a lot of work to me. I have a lot of hair. I can't imagine doing that. I prefer to just go ahead and get a nice clean cut on a regular basis every 4 months, 3 times a year. But whatever works for you, if you are choosing a method, that you want to maintain your hair, I just encourage you to monitor the progress. If you're noticing you're getting a lot of tangles, that's an indication that these ends may be getting very raggedy and causing you to experience those phantom knots, the single strand knots, and a lot of tangles. Now, another thing about trimming, I just want to dismiss any misconceptions. Trimming your hair excessively is not going to cause your hair to grow. Or rather, let me back it up. Trimming your hair doesn't cause your hair to grow. So if you look at my hair and say, okay, I know that she's been trimming her hair is very long and it's in good condition, maybe I'll trim my hair on a regular basis every couple of weeks or every couple of months. Understand that you do not need to trim ends that are in good condition. If your hair is okay, if it's not shabby, you don't need to trim it unnecessarily. It's not going to cause your hair to grow. It's just that not trimming works against you because it causes tangling and it causes split ends. So trimming excessively will just cut your length. I was hoping to get this at an angle where you can actually see the cut, and since you're not really, I'm gonna let this speed up My stylist has been cutting my hair for the last 2 years, and it's pretty consistent. What I like about getting my ends trimmed with her is that she's very conservative, does not like to overcut, and you will notice that she's just going through section by section or layer by layer and only cutting that section not to match the bottom with the hairs above. And that way I get a fresh set of ends on every level of my hair. I will insert the footage from my previous video where my hair was flat ironed in March to show you how this method allows the hairs on the top to catch up with the bottom. We're actually removing the layering in the back, especially since the way my hair falls, when it's curly, I have more shrinkage in the rear crown section. I slowed down the video so you can see she's literally cutting a 1/4 inch and using a pair of professional hair cutting shears, which is ideal when you get your hair trimmed or cut. If you choose to cut your own hair and do not have access to professional shears, if you're using a pair of scissors, it would be best to make sure they are set apart and dedicated for cutting hair. Using scissors to cut other materials such as, let's say, cardboard or packing tape, for example, will dull your blades and leave residue that will snag at your hair, causing it to split. And you don't want splits on your freshly cut ends. That's counterproductive.
No, I cut mine up to here. So when it shrinks up to like here, but it's very little.
My curl is looser. Your curl is looser than mine.
So listen, so it's not a heavy bit, it's just a little bit.
Can I see in the mirror before we cut? I just wanted to see that section.
So it's this. I mean, I can cut down here.
How much would that be? What's that look like? 2.5 inches?
It's not 2.5 inches, that's probably 2. And it's just this much. And then you just blend it so you have a little shape around the face.
Because of it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do what I want. Because I know what you're trying to find. You don't want anything to it.
Now after your hair is trimmed, it's a good time to get a shape up. And we're negotiating how many inches to cut my front angle. We've done this several times, and each time we compromise. She wanted to do look like about 2.5 inches, and I think we wound up doing about 1 inch. And the difference is very subtle. I'm going to put up a picture, a side-by-side comparison, so you can see the difference is very subtle, especially depending on how, I wear my hair. Here is a side-by-side comparison of when my hair gets big, what it looked like before the cut. And since there's no humidity, this is what my hair looks like today. And it's not as big yet, but I can barely tell a difference. Are you dusting? Are you trimming on a regular basis? Have you gone crazy and just trimmed too much and lost a lot of length? Tell me about your trimming process, and I hope you enjoyed what I shared on today, and take a look at the visual, and I'll be back with part 2, which will be about the straight.